Hi, we're the Thisse family. I'm Andy. This is my wife Roxana, and our son Ezra. And we have an older son Samuel, and a daughter Phoebe, and we have one son with the Lord, Nathaniel.
So Ezra was born a year ago in January of 2017, and before he was born, we did not know that he would have Down syndrome. But as soon as I saw him, I knew, even though our doctors and our family didn't see it. So we asked to have him tested, and the test results came back the next day, and I cried. I was really sad. I was sad because Ezra was not who I thought he would be. I cried because I knew enough about Down syndrome to know of some of the challenges he would face. And I cried because this is a cruel world. But in the months that followed, through my tears, God showed me, even as I struggled to see Ezra beyond his diagnosis, that he was much more than Down syndrome. In fact, reading materials that I had received from the hospital started me on just seeing him for who he was, just a baby who needed his mother and love and his family. And as he got older and his personality started to emerge and his rascally little ways, I am actually unable to see a lot of what are his Down syndrome characteristics. I think before Ezra, I had always believed myself to have a soft spot for people with disabilities, and always just kind of had a love, I'd say. But after Ezra, since he's been born, I realized that I had a really difficult time seeing a person with a disability beyond their disability. I think in some ways it defined them in my mind. And now that we know and love Ezra, it is... Yeah? You think it's funny? It's not really funny. But you are pretty funny. Now that we know and love Ezra, it's just so obvious to me that a person with disability is so much more than that. Which is why I love Psalm 139, because to me it speaks of how God loves us and forms us perfectly, and that his love for us has nothing to do with what we're able to do or what we're not able to do. And it's really been a blessing to meditate on those words as we've adjusted to learning about Ezra's Down syndrome and then just learning about him.
I think when I first heard, I just realized that I didn't know anything at all about Down syndrome and what that would mean. And I think I also, I felt afraid in a lot of ways, thinking about what his life might be like and maybe how people would treat him. Those were some of just the first thoughts that came across my mind.
I love how Ezra loves his brother and sister. He is so eager to be around them. And actually at first I didn't see it, and now that I've seen it, when they're running around like wild monkeys, he's eager to be near them and just loves them and is just so happy to be included with the kids. So that's one thing that's really sweet. We love his little army crawl. Yeah, you're a good army crawler. Yeah, you think it's funny?
We love his double thumb.
He's got a super thumb.
And his older brother said, as soon as he found out that he had two thumbs, he said, "This guy's going to be
the thumb war champion.
Dominant at thumb war." And you will be.
Where are you going? Yeah, tell them. Yeah. We love his mushy cheeks. People with Down syndrome have what's called low tone, which means that their muscles have a more difficult time contracting, which is partially why there are some delays in development, because for a little one to sit up and crawl and walk, they have to work that much harder. But at the same time, they're that much mushier and cuddlier. So we love that about you. Yeah, I know. I think I see the image of God in Ezra, in his joy. He is more joyful than our other kids. He's in a lot of ways easygoing. You don't complain that much. Yeah. And even though he has had more difficulties with medical issues, he handles them really well. And even if I talk to him before a doctor's appointment and getting a shot or a blood draw, which he does not like at all, I can tell that there's understanding in his eyes. So I see the image of God in sort of his acceptance of things.
I see the image of God in Ezra. He's needy. We're all needy. We all come to the Lord in need. And I think he just reminds me of our position of need with the Lord, and even how the Lord sees us. I think I don't see Down syndrome. I don't see any of his limitations. I just see my son, and that's who he is. He's just our son. And that is how the Lord sees us too. We're his children as we are, and how he made us.